what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 51 of the Brent Pella Show. Today's guest is one of my close friends and one of my favorite creators, Stevie Emerson. He created and runs the Slappers Only channel on YouTube, at Slappers Only IG on Instagram. Hell of a hard worker, man, and cool dude, chill guy. We had a chill, fun hang time, and we talked about everything. Talk about acting, talk about comedy, stand-up, eventually aliens, and some other fun stuff. I think you'll really enjoy it. So please enjoy episode 51 with my buddy, Stevie Emerson. Yeah! Yeah, give me that smile.
Are we
dude.
live?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, we're live. Welcome to life.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Yeah, what's up, dude?
But if I say something bad, you could edit it out, right?
Yeah, but I'm not going to because I want to incriminate you as much
Cool.
as possible.
Yeah, just like this super.
What's up, dude? Thanks for cruising, bro.
Yeah, this is sick, man.
Are you still hot in the camera?
I don't know.
Maybe a little bit. That's all right. Do you still find yourself when we shot that sketch the other day, you weren't directing it?
Yeah.
The
weirdest day of my life.
Did you like not directing it? Do you like not being fully part of that process?
Dude, I'm still processing it, to be honest. It was cool because it was like I was happy for Mitch. That's why he moved to LA to do stuff like that, and I really respect Mitch. He's got a good hustle going.
Mm-hmm.
He understands comedy very well, so I was stoked to see him doing his thing. And I learned a lot just from watching him direct, like how he was directing the actors. I noticed stuff that I do that sucks. Where like I actually used you as an example, like you, Nikki, Trevor, Maddie, Sherman, only stand-up comics can do that like one-line feed stuff because you guys are used to talking to yourselves.
Oh, right.
You're used to just, firing jabs until someone laughs.
Yeah.
So like you guys can do that. It's like, okay, camera's rolling on Brent. Okay, now do it this way. Now do it that way. And you just do, like the first time we did the Alien movie, it was just like, bah, 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 bah. But with like real actors or anybody that studies acting, you can't do that. And so I noticed he was doing that with like Max and Reggie and some of the other guys who are like more classically trained. And they were like getting stop start. So I was like, I should probably stop doing that. But yeah, to answer your question, it was cool, but it was a learning experience.
Definitely. Do you?
I got to get better at it.
What percentage of the stuff you guys are putting out right now are you at like the helm of, as far as directing it goes?
What does helm mean?
Like you're at the helm of it. You're steering the ship.
Just because you use the word in the sentence doesn't mean.
Do you want to spell?
I mean, it's still how do you spell it?
HELM.
HELM. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that
It's
up.
tight, dude. It's a tight word. Honestly, it's one of the best words.
At the helm of, so that
At
like
the
the
helm of
heart,
something.
the heart of it.
Like if you're at the helm of a ship, you're steering the ship.
It's
at
a
the
ship.
forefront of the
Okay.
ship. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely look into that, brother.
Yeah. Like when you transition from at Stevie Emerson,
right,
with an underscore,
yeah,
to at Slappers Only IG
with no underscore. We're working on getting a new at right
underscore?
now too.
Oh,
no,
new at.
just at
Okay.
Slappers. The chick I messaged her, she finally got back to me. She's like, I'll let you know on Monday how much.
Do you have to buy it?
I offered her money, but she's iffy about it. I'm gonna keep interrupting you too.
Please
do.
Is it
else?
just slap? You don't want Slappers Only?
And that's the thing with Mitch, bro, is like what he really does is that. I'm just gonna make this as difficult. No, it's just at Slappers.
Why not Slappers Only?
Because the guy has an inactive account and he won't respond.
Oh,
yeah.
Do you have any connections at Instagram?
I've tried everything.
anybody?
Like
Yeah.
I know people there, and they're like, "There's nothing
You've
we can do."
reported it a bunch.
Everything. Yeah,
Damn.
it sucks, dude. But what was your question?
It was something about helm. I don't know.
Oh, how much am I still doing?
Yeah. So when you switched, because you switched up, the whole brand was Stevie Emerson. It was just you, and you were the focus because you're the star, and you have a huge ego, and everybody knows that. And no, but you switched to Slappers Only, and you brought more people on the team, and
Thanks for having me on the Brent Pella Show, man.
and so now, like the difference is you're not directing every single piece. Like you're not. No,
I mean, that was the first time. Like, I'm still basically what we wanted to do was I've wanted more of like my dream is to like have a production company and have like a team.
Yeah.
And like it was cool to have everything under my name, but it was a lot of other personal issues that we're not going to talk about on the Brent Pella Show.
Mm-hmm. We'll talk about it on the Stevie Emerson show.
Yeah, on the Slappers on the podcast. But no, I like the dream is to like have like Family Guy, like 12 writers. You have writers' rooms. You have concepts being thrown in, spec scripts submitted. And so like we still have all that. Like we have a couple writers now. We have people submitting concepts, but like
Cool.
I still do all the final drafts. I do all the final scripts. I do all the final edits. I do all that, but like I don't do the grunt work of like, brainstorming and like figuring all that out. Like I'll still do it, but we have other people for that now.
Yeah. What about like producing when it comes to producing shows?
Reese does that.
Cool. Dude,
Yeah.
Reese is a killer.
She's the best.
Yeah, she's a killer. Is she a trained actor?
Yeah.
Or did she get into it with you guys?
So she moved to LA to do producing. Like that's actually what she wants to do. And she
Specifically?
Yeah.
Nice.
Like she did, like she took cinematography classes, directing classes, producing classes, and along the way, everybody's taken some acting classes at some point. So she just kind of fell into it. But no, she doesn't. I mean, she doesn't prefer acting. She prefers producing,
putting stuff together. Cool.
Yeah. So like when we have a
that's
script,
awesome. That's really cool.
When we have a script, a final script, we send it to her. She goes through, gets the props, locations, everything, and then moves forward. But yeah, the goal is to have just like a full team.
That's great. Did you ever take an acting class?
No.
Not one?
No.
Not a single
I took an elective in college, but it wasn't like an actual class. It was just kind of like, I needed credit.
Yeah.
And it was like this guy at Arizona State that was just mad that he never made it in LA.
Yeah.
It was weird. Yeah. What about you?
I feel that. I took one like classical acting class maybe 3 years ago. It was a Meisner class. I hated it. Had a terrible time. There were like 30 people in the class. The instructor would talk for an hour and a half at the beginning of the class. Literally, he would lecture for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And then we would have another hour and a half. And each person would get up to act out this like drill, this Meisner technique drill for 5 to 10 minutes, and then sit down as the next pair went. So over the course of 3 hours, you're on stage in a moment
for 10 minutes.
5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And the class was like $850. And I took it because I'm glad I took it because now I know what I am not missing out on.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I can't imagine like having that be the type of thing that you're focused on and like going in and barely getting anything out of it.
It's all an illusion. Like it's like you think you're getting better and you think you're getting work done and you think you're like progressing, but you're really not. Like the only way you're getting better is by like doing it. I almost feel it's the same way with stand up. Like you do so many open mics, at some point like you get really good at open mics, and that's a problem.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that are killers at open mics.
Yeah, because you're just making jokes that comics like or like meta jokes. It's like you're not actually working on your material. So I have a ton of acting buddies. My buddy Olivo actually was like, dude, I moved to LA 5 years ago. I've taken every class. I've done this. That guy knows his stuff, bro. Like he's done his homework on everything.
Olivo?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Like up, back, sideways. That guy can tell you everything about acting, directing, film, everything. He goes, dude, I feel like I've gotten worse. like I show up, you and Alex have never taken any acting classes. And I'm like, well, we've just done it almost every day for 3 years. And that's where you get better. It's like the more you try and tell someone, then do this, then do that. It's like, I feel like Happy Gilmore is like, just let me put the ball in the hole.
Yeah. 100%.
Like, just let me do it. Like,
let me
just
do it.
Roll a camera. Like, just go.
And then mess up and see yourself mess up and then do better the next time.
Yeah.
And the training stuff, like maybe that Meisner class was part of a program that's just like shitty. Yeah. Because I have friends that are like really good actors that went through training stuff. But it's also like you said, the people who do open mics for years and find their comfort zone in open mics and like local indie shows, and that's it. Yeah. Like, all right, fine, if that's your goal. But if that's not your goal, you got to recognize that's just not helping you. Yeah, 100%. At all. You have to get out of your comfort zone and start doing different shit.
All my friends that take like acting classes, like even some very, very talented friends are like pretty successful. They're like, I mean, I guess you want to always keep getting better, but like I like, how many can you go to? Like, dude, I hear people still going to class and like they're just stealing your money. Like, it's a scam.
A lot of those classes are fucking scams, dude. Especially the ones with like more. If you have more than 10 people in an acting class, it's a scam. Yeah, it's a complete scam. You can't have 30 people that want to be actors in the same room. It's just there's no, you don't get time to act. You don't get time to connect with people. Right. The improv classes I took over the years were great. And I loved those. And I highly recommend those. Really? Yeah. Way more than an acting class. Because depending on the school, the improv or the sketch class is an acting class. They're training you to act. Right. Because you have to commit to the drama of the scene, and that's where the comedy comes from. Yeah. Right? So I really liked those experiences. For the most part, there were some times where I didn't. But
dude, I did one class at Groundlings when I first started in like 2018, because I was working with this manager at the time, and that's when I realized management also isn't for me, and traditional stuff isn't for me. We'll be independent forever. Another conversation for another Brent Pella show.
No, that'll happen in about 10 minutes. We'll bring it up. Yeah.
But basically, she was like, I really want you in improv class. You're going to meet a bunch of people. You're going to meet like people you can work with, this and that, this whole different thing, which is cool. But then, like, dude, I just straight up don't think improv is funny. Like, it's not funny.
Like
it's just
as a performance medium. Like when you're watching
it's just so goofy, and it's like, oh, got him. Like it's not like to me. It's just more like you're relying on like the spontaneous stuff, and like can't believe he did that in that situation, and then someone tapped him out. It's just like it's just dumb to me. Like if someone like I just appreciate.
Let me ask you this though, bro. Have you ever seen
really good improv?
Really, really good improv.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like the career improvisers at Groundlings on like a Thursday night at prime time. These are people that are like middle aged. They've been working actors for years. And when they're doing improv, it's none of that goofy shit. That goofy shit is like the first couple levels at UCB or something when everybody's trying to figure out how to not make dick jokes. You know? But you really bad improv is like the worst thing that exists. It's horrible. It's literally the worst thing that exists. It's worse than war. Stand-up. It's worse than war. And but good improv, I argue, is one of the, if not the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Well, my mind's already made up, so I'm not.
I'm married to my opinions. There's some good improv.
I've seen some stuff over the years. Like I had a friend, she finished Groundlings. She was like my sister's friend. I'm pretty sure I saw one of her shows. I just saw a bunch of people that went through Groundlings, and like they were funny, but like I don't know. I guess I haven't seen like.
Yeah, you got to see good, like really good improv. Like Ass Cat at UCB. Which is, it has people like David Koechner and Matt Besser, who co-founded UCB, will do it sometimes. What's the dude's name? Oh my God, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. He's in a lot of Will Ferrell movies. He was in Step Brothers, and he's a dude that says, Rob Riggle.
Yeah.
Rob Riggle will do it. Like I'm talking about people like that. Like when they do improv, it is literally the funniest fucking thing. It's like watching Eminem freestyle in 8 Mile. Like it's that level of holy fuck. How is this happening in front of me right now? And
that's
it's
how I
like
feel
magic.
when I watch like you and Sherman riff and like Maddie.
Sherman's funny, dude.
Dude, he's great, man.
He just kind of goes off.
Yeah, dude.
And he's got this energy. He's really funny.
He's on another level. Yeah. He's also done a ton of improv, I think, but. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like stand-up either. But then, like, when I watch, like, really good stand-up...
You like performing stand-up or watching stand-up?
Watching. Performing stand-up's great. It's attention. Everyone likes you. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's the best feeling.
It's a drug.
Yeah.
But as far as, like, actual stand-up, I more appreciate the art of it. Like, I'm like, wow, that was a great setup. Or, wow, that was a great turnaround. Or stuff like that. Like, I'm the same way I like film in that regard. I really like the structure of stand-up. But improv, I just can never get into.
I feel you. I can't watch stand-up for more than a couple minutes on TV.
Yeah.
Like, I can't get
TV,
past 5
you
minutes.
Can't even... It's not even the same art.
I can't tell you the last time I watched a special, dude. It's just hard for me.
Yeah.
But live, I went to Chris D'Elia's special taping. And it was really cool, but he had a big TV that was running through his bits so that he could look up every couple minutes and see like what was next, which makes sense in a way because he's shooting a special and it's like a huge Netflix thing, so he doesn't want to get off track. But to me, it also like kind of took away from the in the momentness, I guess you could say, of how I love stand up to be.
Right.
But I also don't think I would ever put out an hour-long stand-up special.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
If I'm gonna put out a special, it's gonna be like my like style, which isn't just stand-up. Have you ever seen Nick Kroll's special? He has a comedy special, his first one, maybe his only one. But it was a mix. He would do stand-up for a couple minutes, and then it would cut to like a character sketch.
Oh, that's
and then
right.
It would cut back to the stage, and he's a character on stage, and it would cut away.
So more like a one-man show.
Yeah, so that's actually what I was starting to run in 2020, like in the around this time last year. I was starting to put up a one-man show type thing where I would do stand-up for like 10 minutes, and I would have it blocked out. Like, these are the bits, and then the last bit of that 10 minutes would be like about CrossFit. And then the projector would come down behind me and it would play like a 2-minute clip of my fitness guy.
Right.
And then I would come back on stage as the fitness guy.
Right.
I'd have another 5 minutes interact with the crowd.
Yeah.
Everything's going crazy.
You didn't do that in Chicago, did you? I know you did some musical stuff there. I remember that.
No, I did. I did that Adele bit, which is just like a big crazy dance thing.
Yeah, the breakup.
Yeah. And that's really fun. But like special wise and putting together a big show, and this is what I want to start doing more of now that I can go back on the road a little bit, is trying to do that variety type thing. Because like my attention, if I'm making it for me, my attention span is already all over the place. So I'm drawn to something that's, a new character, an interaction, a video, some stand-up.
Yeah.
So that's what I like to see, so that's what I'm going to make.
Yeah, stand-up gets old, in my opinion, after like 25 minutes. Yeah. Even like the best, like Louis C.K.'s new special. Sorry, I love him. Mm-hmm. His new stuff, like after like his middle 20 was just like super boring, but then it's hard to stay funny for an hour straight.
It's really hard, dude. It's really hard. Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, thanks for coming by, bro. Yeah, dude. So you're sitting on how many videos right now for Slappers?
Not enough, man. Not enough. We're booked till June, which feels pretty good. Cool. But we had a meeting that went super late last night, and we decided that we're gonna try and just finish the year. Like we were gonna go till June and then make this OnlyFans thing, and the script that I showed you and all that. Yep. But we realized we can't make another web series until we're 6 months out. So we're just gonna stay another month, 2 months just on the sketches, and then start hacking at the longer stuff.
Cool.
So till June. Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday.
Cool. That's dope, dude. Are you going to do a Kickstarter to raise money?
Yeah, I think so. Not a ton. Like we need like between like 10 and 50 G's. So it's not going to be like a legit film with like, I mean, it's going to be like upper mid tier.
What
was
the budget on Area 51?
It was $7,000.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's great,
we got
dude.
like $7,500, something like that.
Wow. That's, I would have guessed double probably.
Yeah, I mean, we made it work, but we also don't want to have to do that again. Like, nobody got paid. Nobody,
right.
Which is fine. Nobody needs to get paid, but like, we couldn't really afford.
No.
Well, no, like lunches and stuff. Like, everybody still was kind of getting their own lunches and snacks. Did you pay the DP?
Who shot it, Ben?
No, Ben didn't get paid.
Wow.
Because I mean, he owned 30% of the company at that point, so it was sure. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, this next one we want to be like upper mid tier. Our first actual movie is coming out next year. The one that we wrote. We just want this one to be like. No, that's just another short film, but I don't want to talk about it because it's that good.
Wow.
But it's the first one me and Alex wrote. It's like an hour and a half. That's going to be 2021. That's going to be our first. Like
2022, you mean?
Yeah, whatever. Dude, it's all...
We're in 2021 right now, which is why what you said is wrong. Keep going, though.
The fourth dimension is sick. No, but 2022... 2027.
Yeah,
we're gonna make our first like legit film with like we're trying to get like between $500K and like $2 million for that.
Great.
And like that's gonna be like our actual.
You can do that. Just hit up Mark Cuban, dude.
I think so. He follows Slappers Only.
Yeah. He's the type of guy that would read a DM and be like, "Yeah, let's do it."
I think so. Yeah.
He's got billions, dude.
Yeah.
Like if I had that much money, I would be throwing money at people like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And on Shark Tank, he's always just like, "Yeah, I love helping out people from Indiana. Here's $3 million." Like,
Jesus,
he just seems like cool like that. But
yeah.
So we're gonna keep our head down with the sketches. We're gonna try and stay ahead on that. Like I said, we're booked till June. We're gonna try and get to like September or October.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to plan out my years now, bro. Like I realized at the end, like around like September, October-ish, I just get like very, very, very burnt out. So I want to try and take 3 months off at the end of the year every year for the rest of my life.
Months?
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a quarter of a year.
Yeah.
What do you mean by off? Completely off? Hands off? Or just watching and giving notes type deal?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't want to work for those 3 months. Like, and if I do work, I want it to be like, well, I really feel like writing today. I'm going to go sketch some stuff out, but not like I got to get this done before Friday, like that whole thing.
So let me ask you this then. If that's a 3 month mental type break for you, why not spread that out over the course of the year and take like a weekend off here, take a week off here, fucking fly to Italy? You know what I mean?
My brain just doesn't work like that, man.
Okay.
Like I'm like 2 months sober, and I think I'm just gonna finish the year sober. I just want to like keep my head down, get ahead, stay focused, keep building, and then just relax. Like I know everybody says that. They're like, well, why don't you just have one drink here, one drink there? It's just like me personally, I'd rather just work for 9 months, like work like, you know, between 8 and 16-hour days every day.
Yeah.
Keep my head down, stay focused. Not like, I just feel like when you drink or when you take breaks, you're just taken out of it. And like, it takes so long to get in a rhythm that like, I don't want to get out of the rhythm. And then even for relaxing, I can't even really relax till like day 3 or 4. Like the first 2 days of relaxing, I'm still wound up. I'm like, oh, do we have something to post? We have this, like, you know, I'm not able to just like go to the beach and chill that day. Cause the whole day I'm like, well, tomorrow I have to start editing again. So it's
I feel you.
Yeah.
Sure.
I heard an interview with Kobe and Ellen DeGeneres actually, and he actually brought it up where he was like, yeah, it takes me like a week, RIP, before I can like legitimately decompress. And so for me, naturally in the winter, I'm just like more, not sad, but I'm just like, wow, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, and I just want to chill out.
Yeah, I get that in like mid-December through like mid-January. And I actually get sad during those times because it's always like...
the winter blues, man.
Dude, it's the winter blues. And it's also like the New Year's thing of seeing how everybody's celebrating everything they've done in the past year and how everybody's like making their resolutions for the next year. And I literally for the past like 4 years around that time, I always look back at my previous year and I'm like, fuck,
what did I do?
I did nothing. Did I really do nothing?
Yeah.
Am I really still here in this position where I'm like, no one knows me, I'm broke, I'm this, I'm that.
It's a dangerous trap to fall into.
And then mid-January comes and I start to pull my head out of my ass and just hit the ground running like 100%. A psycho.
And that is like, I felt the same way since high school. Like it was like, oh, the basketball team only went 5-5 this year, or like this and that. I would always look back and feel the exact same way. So I'm trying to just like piece together patterns the same way for like diet and stuff. Like, okay, for my mental health, what's going to make me the happiest? Like I truly think, again, this is probably going to be my first year doing it, but like 9-10 months of just like hard work. Obviously take my days off where I can, you know?
Yeah.
Like not like full days, but like
a light day.
Yeah, like today I probably won't do much. And then like tomorrow I'll get back at it with filming and stuff. But this is my first year doing that. I'm trying to just like answer to my body instead of like, oh, I feel exhausted and tired and scared and sad. Time to keep working. It's
right.
No, meditate on it, think about it, take a break, and then come back.
Connect with yourself. That's huge.
Yeah.
If you're able to communicate with your body and your mind, then you can connect the two and figure out what's going to be best.
Yeah, 100%. And I still meditate every day and stuff. Like in the middle of my day before bed, I try and get like at least 15 minutes in of just like nothing. Yeah. And then that really, dude, it's crazy how much that works.
It does. I started right when I wake up now. I'm trying that now. Yeah. Because it used to be pretty sporadic, like a couple times a week here and there when I remember to. Yeah. But now I'm trying to make it a hard thing. Like as soon as I'm done.
It's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't look at your phone till you do yoga, right?
Never. Yeah.
I really respect that, man. Yeah. It's mental health is the same as like the same way we're going to plan this 2-month, OnlyFans series where it's going to be nonstop work. I want to plan my breaks. I want to plan my vacations.
And just so you guys know, if you're hearing Stevie talk about an OnlyFans series, he is starting his own OnlyFans. And that's what he's planning for.
Yeah, dude.
Did you have an OnlyFans for Slappers at one point?
Yeah, we started one as like a Patreon OnlyFans thing. Yeah. Because I was told by a lot of people that it's going to be like the new wave as far as like...
Patreon?
Yeah. Like, I mean, Patreon's huge, but I heard OnlyFans was actually trying to transition to more like... Porn? Yeah. And to more like mainstream creators like you or like, Trevor actually said that they hit him up. Really? And he sent me that, my buddy Sean Young, very cool dude, sent me a No Jumper. You know that dude? Yeah. He does a podcast, and he went on this huge rant about how OnlyFans is going to be the new thing for like podcasts and stuff to where you're going to... Yeah, so we thought it was that, and then honestly, we just realized our content like wasn't where it needed to be. The videos were sucking. The behind the scenes weren't that fun to watch, and it was just a huge waste of money, so we shut it down. However, we started slaps.vip. You can go to that right now, www.slaps.vip, and that's our Patreon. So we're going to start doing that.
Oh, cool. That's great.
We want to do our own website because we didn't want Patreon to take a cut.
Yeah, you don't want to give a cut. Yeah. So you're going to do a subscription-based model? Yeah, we have the whole thing built. My brother, bless his heart, built the whole thing. He did a great job. It looks sick. Awesome. There's a $5, $10, and $25 tier, but since we're not starting the podcast, we just have it built. And once you're going to launch it with the podcast? The original plan was start posting everything a week early, like all of our sketches, post whole seasons, stuff like that. But now that we have the podcast, we're either going to do it with that or with the movies. We don't know. Or like a stand-up special. Go to Slaps VIP. It's $5 on there. Yeah. So it's built now. We don't quite know what we're going to use it for, but it's built. That's interesting. You know, I considered Patreon a couple different times.
You 100% should, bro. You'd make so much money.
I don't know, dude, because
Bro.
here's the thing. Here's my hesitation.
So much money.
And then you can tell me what you think.
I don't want to hear it, man.
Okay, great. I'm going to start one. Like the dudes that I see that are doing Patreon and really killing it, like Ryan Long is a comedian out of New York who has one. I mean, Tim Dillon, you know, Theo Vaughn, those guys are making like 40 grand a month or some crazy number like that. I don't know if I have the capacity to create the extra content for the people who are subscribing. Do you know what I mean?
I think
like another podcast a week.
Did you
or
think
like
you had
extra sketches?
Did you think you had the capacity to do 2 sketches a week once you bumped them up 4 months ago?
I guess not.
And now it's the norm, right? Like you don't know, like you got this sick apartment now, and like you didn't know you would ever have this, and now you're not gonna have an apartment that's not nicer than this moving forward.
Right.
No, I'm serious, bro.
Right,
I'm serious. Like
yeah.
after moving into my house, like it's a lot of money, but I will not live in a house that's not as nice as that moving forward. If that means I have to work twice as hard as that. Yeah. So I think like with the Patreon thing, like I personally don't think you could do it with a sketch, like an extra sketch a week. That's hard. But with this, dude, like as soon as
like a podcast or like an extra...
bro. As soon as we wrap, you just let it roll for 45 more minutes. You do the exact same thing, and then it's extra content. It doesn't have to be... I think a podcast is the easiest, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's also fun. It's easy and fun. That's the only reason I do. If it wasn't easy, like I set this up in 10 minutes, dude. Yeah. If this had taken me 11 minutes, I would quit doing the podcast. So, all right. Well, I'll keep thinking about it. But it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I would do it. I guess.
Dude, it's just funny because like,
I guess maybe.
I just look at all these other people who are like, you know, very successful on Patreon or YouTube or all these different things. Like they didn't do anything crazy. They just started small, and you're probably only going to have 10 patrons the first month. Yeah. Then you're going to get 25. And then next thing you know, at the end of the year, when you're super sad and depressed, you're going to look back and you're going to have 500 people subbing to your stuff. Yeah. You know, like I remember I actually brought this up at the meeting we had last night because we were talking about if we're going to do the podcast, if it's the right time or not. And I brought up Trevor because, I mean, he's just done such a great job the past couple of years. And he's the person that I've known, like, personally. Like, I had more followers than him when we started out. And now he's just, like, taking it to another level. It's highly respectable. Yeah. But I remember when he started the podcast, it was kind of like, what are you doing type of thing? Like, and he was like, oh, we're just getting it in motion now. And I remember looking at his podcast. It didn't really have many views. His Patreon didn't have many views. Dude, he's got like 6,000 patrons now at like $10 a month. Like, but that took 2.5 years. That wasn't, but you have to start and then let it grow with it. You know? Yeah. Interesting. All right. I'll think about it, dude. Yeah. I'll think about it, bro. Yeah. I think it's worth it with the podcast. Specifically with the podcast, I think that's... Just an extra episode a week. I don't think it's that hard, yeah. Like, if you were going to do an extra sketch, there's moving parts, there's a ton of editing. Yeah, I guess that's where my head was at, is that it would be an extra sketch, but I really don't want to do that. I can't be doing that. Plus, I want to keep the sketches as, like, you don't have to pay to see them. Yeah. Like, they just come out. Yeah, it's bonus content is bonus content. I think it's cool. Yeah. So you're, like, heavy political now, yeah? Yeah. Yeah? No, I just... 2020 like broke my brain open, dude. Yeah. You know what I mean? And something that I've lived by throughout this whole time I've been like trying to write and perform and evolve as a writer performer is write what you know and write what you feel. And so last spring, especially, like prior to that, I maybe did a political thing here and there, topical thing, but it was more like culture oriented. But now it's like the culture is political. And so if you're making really topical things, it has to be political because that's the number one trending thing. So it's also ridiculous, and I just like pointing out the ridiculousness of certain things. I personally love the stage that we're all at as far as like the creators that we work with because I don't know, I'm big on like reflection and just like taking a step back. Yeah. Like I always tell my friends how much I love them, and I'm just like, dude, what we're doing is sick right now. You know, like I always look at Alex, I'm like, this is dope. Like I always like looking back. I personally think it's so cool right now how like all of us have been working together for a couple of years. Me, you, Nikki, Sherman, all these people, all these young comics. And I just love seeing like the shape that everyone's taking. Dude, it's really cool. Like I love the fact that like we're kind of the cinematic people and like we're moving towards that. And then like you've kind of taken the politics route. And like I think it's awesome. Like, and because I know in 10 years from now, when you have your own like The Daily Show, I'm gonna be like, I remember when he started doing that. You know what I mean? Like it's just a cool I think time's already happened, and this is all an illusion. Not joking. So I think that like that has already happened, and this is just kind of like that first.
This is the
starting
precursor.
point.
We're living in the
sick,
precursor,
dude. It's
yeah.
awesome.
It is really cool.
Yeah.
And the politics stuff that I try to do, it's still less than 10% of the overall content I'm putting out. You know, so
I think people feel like it's more.
It's just hit,
because it's
bigger
hitting.
hit. Yeah, it's a bigger hit, like the Gavin stuff and like.
It's
whatever.
funny, bro.
It's fun. It's really fun. It's just crazy to see people's reactions though too, because the internet is so fucking crazy, dude. Like people will love you if you make fun of this person, and they'll absolutely hate you and turn on you if you make fun of that person.
Yeah,
and I'm an equal opportunity offender. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I have no dog in this fight besides the dog that just goes after everybody. And I accepted that that's gonna be like a painfully slow growth process as far as the following goes. Like not
political stuff.
Like when I say I don't specifically choose sides or cater my content to
heavily to the right or the left,
or left, or even like woke, not woke, like.
Yeah, but I think people underestimate just because there's no party for that. There is a massive audience for moderate people.
Dude, I think it's massive too. But I do think it's slower that audience trickles in slower because as soon as here's my example. As soon as you're creating content that slants left or slants right, you automatically get this influx of people from that side because you're their fucking knight in shining armor, dude. You're the person at the helm, dude, of what they believe.
In a sentence, please. Yeah,
you're leading this charge, and so you get this like it's like your tribe is there. But if you go after both, then they just
but don't you think there's a tribe for the middle? I don't know much about Andrew Schultz, but doesn't he just make fun of everyone?
Yeah, he does.
I remember
100%.
I saw like one of his videos that Joe Rogan reposted, and I was like, oh, this is dope because this is so in the middle, and like I don't care about the left or the right.
Yeah,
like, I still think there's a massive audience.
I do too. I just think it trickles in slower, but I think it stays and it's stronger. Like Schultz. I think it's been 5-6 years since he was at where I'm at right now.
Sure.
If we're just comparing me and him, even though he's the GOAT. Now I have to wait 5 years. I'll be patient.
What about if you use that to your advantage, though, and just triple down on the moderate thing? Like literally start making videos called like when you're a moderate. Like literally like quadrupling down on that because I don't know. I feel like there's a massive audience for it. Yeah, and then all these people on Facebook that are like, I don't care about this fight, Grandma, are gonna share that and just be like, right. You know?
Yeah.
It's almost like there's a third party that's like not.
It's the Pella party, bro.
Yeah.
We vibing, dude.
Make America vibe again.
We're Mava, baby.
Yeah, dude. I know nothing about politics, and I'll probably get hate for just saying that. But I try to. We don't even make fun of people on our channel or anything. Like we don't make all of our humor is like just fun. Like it's not. We don't like. I hate
roasting.
No, I don't like that stuff, dude. And like this, the people in my life love that. Like a lot of people love it, and I don't like it. I don't think it's funny.
You'll roast a stereotype. You won't roast a specific person.
I don't like going after people. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's fair. Even if it is, no matter how famous they are. Like that, I haven't seen it yet, but Alex just told me about the Tiger Woods documentary about how when all these late night hosts were just like tearing apart these people and tearing apart Tiger, he had a pretty messed up life and he was going through a very tough time. And it's like, just because he's rich and famous, people can do that.
Yeah.
I think it's a little different for like politics because they have the ability to like make laws and all this different stuff.
Well, they're also elected, so we got to hold them accountable.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is why I have zero hesitation with them.
Yeah.
With other celebrities, when I poke fun at them, it's always like in the sense that hopefully they could laugh at it too.
Yeah, and I know that there's a massive audience for that, and I'm in the minority. Most people like the roast humor, but I personally just think it's like bullying, and I'm not attracted to it. I love the harmless Key and Peele stuff. Where you're just like, wow, they made this basic concept about nothing. I just watched it for 4.5 minutes, and like nobody's feelings are hurt. Like I just feel.
Well, did you watch I Think You Should Leave?
I watched the
comedy show of all time.
I couldn't get into it. I liked one of them. I liked the one of all of
Which one?
The hanging at brunch with these two dum dums, like that one. But I like watching stuff where afterwards I just feel good. Like just like those Sandler films, man. Like you just feel good leaving. You're just like, I don't feel like people were attacked or feelings were hurt. That's just kind of the vibe that we're trying to create with with slaps.
Sure. Yeah, it's easy. It's easy to watch, easy to consume.
It's fun, yeah. And I don't feel like a dick making it. Like there's so many, I get it, it's easy. Like there's so many YouTubers that will just bully kids because it gets a ton of views and it's funny, but it's like, it's like kind of not. What do you mean by bullying? There's just certain YouTubers that literally just pick out like, welcome back to today's video. Today we're going to be looking at the new TikTok house. And then they're like roasting all the kids that live at the TikTok house. It's like, okay, there's a lot of room for material there, but it's just mean. Like, they're 19.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. That's just my opinion on it though. But
yeah. The roasting, the mean stuff, I don't really like, except for politicians.
Yeah.
Love being mean to politicians because they're elected leaders, and when they do something stupid, they gotta go. And that's just my opinion. But that's politics. When it's like celebrities, it's a little different. I'm gonna make fun of Eminem for being super angry and loud, right? But I'll never make fun of Eminem for having a pill addiction. You know what I mean?
That's the stuff where I feel like,
for me, where it goes from comedy to bullying. Like I'll never make fun of who else was it? Like Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son, for having a drug addiction. Like a lot of the right makes fun of him and they call him a crackhead. And I've known people that have struggled with addiction. Like that's addiction. I'm never going to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make fun of Joe Biden for literally being on his deathbed.
There's a healthy there's a healthy level of it too where like I always tell Reese cuz she loves like roasting and jabs and this and that.
Yeah.
If it's funny, it's funny. It's funny. If it's clever, it's clever. But when people just do it to just do it, that's when I'm not a fan.
There's like a mean shock value aspect.
100%. But like, dude, we were all watching TV like a couple weeks ago, and I go on this huge rant because I mute during the commercials. We were watching Kansas City play in the playoffs, and I was like, you people are sick. You people are brainwashed. If you leave the commercials on, it's living in the back of your head, and it's just this anger, this little voice that's going. You have to mute it, chill out, be okay with the silence. Don't listen to the commercial. Well, I like it as background noise. That's a problem. Like
That's a huge problem. Dude, I've been muting commercials since I was 7.
We believe the same thing.
Yeah.
I go on this huge rant about it, and everyone's like, okay. Reese gets there. She sits down. She was like late. She gets there. She goes, who's the muter of the group? And then I say everything that I just said. I'm like, this, it's that, if you the corporations, the blah, blah, blah. And she goes, you're just so easy to be around. I just love being around you. And it was like that where it's like, okay, poke your fun at me. Like that was so clever. Yeah. That was so fun. But yeah, there's a thin line of like, okay, that was good. And then like, this is just straight up,
You know who I think the master of that is? 2 masters, Jeff Ross and Dave Attell. I don't know. Did you ever watch? I don't
know the second one. I know.
You know Jeff Ross is. Dave Attell is a comic, New York guy, legend, unbelievably funny. There's a story somebody told of him, like on a movie set or something, and they were at the crafty table, and she said her and her friend got some ice cream. And Dave Attell just walked up to them, and this is off camera. They're just hanging out. He walked up to them and was like, "Hey, ladies, what are you having? No boyfriend, a la mode." And like that type of thing. When I heard that story, I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, but even like, I don't know, dude. Even I think it's funny, but like even that, like you don't know what those girls have gone through that month. Like, no, I'm serious. Like, I
don't know. To each his own on that, dude.
But were they just chilling, just eating? Yeah. If you're at a comedy show, okay, maybe. But like. I don't know. If I was going through a breakup and someone said that, I'd be sad. I don't know. I get it. I just don't go there. I just don't go there.
I feel it. Are you gonna start doing stand up again?
I don't know, man. I've been thinking about it a lot. I've been writing a lot.
Cool.
I have a lot of new stuff. I feel very confident where my act was getting. Like the last time I performed last February, I was really stoked with where I was at. Like it wasn't miserable anymore.
Oh, good.
Like I got up there and I was like, wow, I know these are gonna hit, and I feel pretty confident with it. As opposed to like the first 2 years, I'm like, please laugh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been writing a lot. I've been dabbling with the idea. It's just, I don't know. We'll see. Like I said earlier in the Brent Pella Show, it's a drug, man. Yeah. And like for me, when I took like, those 3 months off of social media, off of alcohol, drugs, literally everything, it's stand-up was a huge thing. It's like this insane rush where I didn't think I was ready to handle it at 25. Like it's a high, man.
It is.
I didn't come down from that Chicago show for like a week.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
It's cocaine as soon as you get off stage.
You have all these people just telling, if you do work. But that's the sick part. When you do bad, it's a weirdly as addicting thing of like this. I feel alive. Like people love to love things or they love to hate things.
Yeah.
That's why Trump was so popular, because you can either love him or hate him. Either way, he made you feel something.
Yeah.
You felt something. A stand-up, it's the same way. Like, I killed, I did amazing. I have all these emotions. When you do poor, it's just like, oh, I'm trash.
Yeah.
Like, I need to get back out there, man.
Yeah,
like, it's this weird addiction, bro. So again, there's all these different things going on when I was taking that break, and I was like, I don't think I have the tools to handle this right now.
Mm-hmm. I feel you.
Yeah. But we'll see, man. It's fun, dude. It's when the world opened back, it's just tough because it's like, it's literally a party every time you go up there. Like,
it is. It really is. And especially now. I mean, you could throw your own show. You don't need to wait around for clubs to book you anymore.
It's a party.
You could do a slapper show and probably fill a house.
Thinking about doing some backyard shows.
I think you should.
But also, we're so slammed with the films and the sketches and everything that I don't know if that's a battle I'm willing to fight.
Yeah.
And starting a podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll see, man. I'll probably do it sooner than later, but I just want to make sure I'm in the right headspace. I sound like a giant pussy saying that, but I don't want.
No, dude, you don't want to add too many things, bro.
Yeah,
I know what that's like. You add too many things, you forget one thing because you're so busy, and then all of a sudden you feel like you fucked everything up.
Yeah, and you just forget.
You gotta have balance.
You forget who you are. Like, I've just seen so many people the past, even look at like Dalia. Mm-hmm. Like, watching that apology video is like, this is a guy who was just lost. Like, he was just like, then I started in my early 30s. I started getting famous, and then this and that. One thing led to another, and like, I wanted to have a very firm grip on myself before any of that started happening. And again, stand-up was just like the ultimate high. So I don't think I'm ready for it at this specific moment.
You aren't ready to get super famous on.
Oh, no. That's why I switched everything for my name, bro.
Yeah.
Everything was starting to happen, and I was like, I don't want this. Yeah. Like, this isn't cool.
That's a cool conscious decision to remove your ego from that part of the process.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, I think it becomes intoxicating for a lot of people when they see this influx of followers and likes and comments and DMs from people.
And none of it's real.
Yeah. And it inflates you, and it fills your brain with things that literally don't matter.
It's just, and stand-up's the same thing. You're with 100 people, and they're all like, "Oh, Brent's the best," all this, and you think it's real.
Well, that is real to me. No, that's 100% real. We will disagree on that. Stand-up is the greatest.
No, it is, but if you're not able to separate yourself from the two, like, if you think that all of that's like genuine love, it's like not. Like,
I think it is in person. I think online is completely different. The people that come out specifically to see you, they take a night off of their life to pay for a ticket. They maybe have to get a babysitter. Maybe it's their first stand-up show ever. They hate being around people, super socially awkward, but they love you. Your videos have gotten them through like who knows what, right?
Sure, but that can't be your main source of love.
No.
Yeah,
but
that's
the
what
love
I'm saying.
is there.
Yeah, but it can't, like, for me, like that, I have to find love in who I am and who I am as a person, not with everything I'm doing, not with film, not with stand-up. Like, I was relying on the likes and the comments and the views. And when I went to shows and people said, "You're so funny, you're the best," I thought that was my identity. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I wasn't able to separate myself from the two. Of course, it's like they love you and this and that, but it can't be... You got to have good family relations. You got to have friends that aren't just, stand-up friends, like all that sort of thing. And that's where I found myself where, like, all that other stuff was fake. And when the numbers started taking off, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I have no idea who I am. I have not the slightest clue. Mm-hmm. The past 6 years, all I've done is this.
Yeah. Yeah. But you're also 16. So I think as you grow, you'll start to kind of grow.
Yeah, 100%.
All my best friends right now are my best friends that I grew up with. I never really made really close stand-up friends. I always felt a little bit isolated from that like community when I first started in LA. Yeah.
That's a good thing, I think. Yeah. I think a lot of stand-up relationships are not real.
Yeah. Well, it was also like I got like bullied, dude. When I first started doing stand-up, I got like bullied, like straight up harassed.
Well, you're a pussy, yeah.
I'm a little bitch-ass piece of shit. Yeah, did I deserve it? Yes, but that's
I know what you mean, bro.
Like I remember I did an open mic, and it was during my first year of stand-up. When you're in your first year of stand-up, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, dude. Yeah. You have no idea what you're doing. You're throwing shit at the wall. You think you're the greatest thing ever. Yeah. You think like doing a half-decent show means you crushed. You think you're God when you're in your first year and you have no idea like who you are yet. And I was trying out all this new stuff that I don't do anymore because I evolved out of it.
Yeah.
But one of them was, ironically, an Eminem impression.
Yeah.
And it was, I would say, this is Eminem if he was the spokesman for M&M's. And then it was like a chocolate, and it was like chocolate peanut.
That's
like
funny.
it was like a 10-second
Yeah.
rap. And I did this open mic out in Silver Lake, and it like wasn't great, but it wasn't like terrible. But also I was 1 year in, so I had no idea. And I was in front of a bunch of hipster East Side comics that all love each other, but they hate everybody else. And it was like a little cult of stand-up.
That's their
comics
comfort
that live
zone.
in
There'll never
Silver
be
Lake.
anything outside of that.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I did it, and then I went to a different open mic the next day, and I introduced myself to somebody, and he was backstage. We're both waiting for the mic. I was like, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm Brent." And he was like, "Oh, hey, I'm whatever his name was. Hey, what's your last name?" I was like, "Oh, Pella." And he was like, is this you?" And he held up his phone, and it was a Facebook comment thread on this status. This girl made a status like saying, "Guys, there's some open micer out there named Brent doing the worst impressions ever. If you see him, please ban him. He went 30 seconds over his time. Like, I can't believe someone like this exists." Like, it was harsh. And then I saw like 50 comments underneath that from all these people that I recognize, some of whom I've said hi to, like in passing. And they're all hating on me too. And this one dude was actually really cool. And he was like, "Yo, you're really going to hate on somebody just trying new stuff at an open mic?" But that was like the only positive that I saw. And so from that moment on, I like swore off becoming friends with comics because I didn't trust any of them. And
That's
it
fair,
gave
yeah.
me like the worst fucking taste in my mouth for the stand-up comic community. So then I would just go to open mics and I would leave. I wouldn't talk to anybody. I'd go up, I'd do my set. I did good, I didn't do good, I'd take notes, and I'd leave.
Yeah.
And it lasted like that until literally like maybe a year ago, when I started like actually developing bigger
I think
friendships
there's a
with
difference
people.
between like comics and like open mic comics. It's like, dude, it's
Yeah.
freaking depressing, those open mics. Like, they're
Yeah.
depressing, and those people are all where they're at for a reason. Like,
Yeah, dude. And they're sad. A lot of people that just do those open mics for 6 years and your main stage time is an open mic, like, that's great. You're still developing. I respect it. But if you're like talking down to people, you're projecting onto other people.
yeah, 100%. And that's what I was saying. Like, the same way, all the love and like, oh, you're so good and that. Like, if you don't know who you are and you don't have a good grip on yourself for the other thing,
Yeah.
for the hate,
Yeah.
then you're gonna have some serious problems too.
Dude, I'm almost glad I got shit on when all that happened, because it gave me like a thick skin. So now I just don't like feel bad. And and it made me learn immediately, oh, people out here want to talk some shit? That's what they want to do? And that's when my competitive drive like doubled.
100%.
It was already in me from, years of playing basketball. But as soon as that shit happened, I was like, oh, okay, now I got a hit list. You,
Right.
And so, and the person who made that status and all those people who commented on it are probably still going to go back to that open mic today. And a few years after that, I put out an Eminem video that got me 30,000 subscribers in like a week. So it's just, to me, looking back on all that, it's a lesson of like not giving in to the negativity, but using the negativity as fuel.
It's just tough because like the culture of stand-up is just pretty dang negative. Like, again, that's what I was saying. Like, the jokes of like roasting and this and that, like it's a very negative lifestyle if you're not very conscious of what you're doing. And like, if you're not around comics who are conscious, like, we were even watching the Chris D'Elia podcast, me and Alex, the other day, just watching his old ones, because we were like watching your podcast, watching all these podcasts to see like what we want to go for. And like, it's hilarious. This guy is roasting In-N-Out and just being a dick about this, and this burger sucks, and anyone who goes there is a dumb, just going off. But like, that's hard to separate yourself from. Like, I don't want to hang out with that guy. That guy's a dick. Like, I'm looking at it and like, it's funny. We're laughing at it, but you're an object. Like, we're laughing at you like a monkey because that's funny. But like, in real life, like, I don't want to be around those people. And that takes form of who you are at those open mics and those stand-ups. Like, you kind of become this character of I hate everything and I'm cynical and I'm a dick.
A lot of people do. Not everybody, but a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And I've met a lot of those people, and it's really like, it's unfortunate to see people that I've met that were like happy and friendly, and then like over time they just kind of sink into this pit of despair, and they let that, it's like, because with comedy, a lot of times you're breaking down a stereotype, you're dissolving people's perception of a certain topic or idea. And that's what makes it funny. And that's what D'Elia does, for example, when he roasts something, or like when I roast a politician, even though fuck politicians and I'll, belittle them at any day. But like with someone like D'Elia, when he's bringing people down,
it's hilarious.
It's so funny. But a lot of people like it. That's how a lot of people, I think, at least in the open mic scene, end up getting super jaded.
Yeah,
is because they're like always looking for an angle that's unpopular, or like everybody loves the Avengers, and they haven't seen the Avengers yet, but they immediately think, fuck the Avengers. Let me make a list of all the reasons I fucking hate the
and
Avengers.
If you're not able to differentiate between like, this is my character on stage and this is who I am, I'm sure Chris D'Elia is a cool dude in real life, like, then that takes form of who you are.
Yeah, 100%. And
I've been around comics like that, where you're just like, dude, you're just a dick.
And
like,
also, like,
this isn't funny.
I don't think enough people are looking for the funny on the opposite side of the spectrum of that. Like, when you break something down and you belittle it and like flip everybody's perspective on it, yeah, that's funny. Why does In-N-Out suck, Chris D'Elia? Tell me. And that's funny. But then also, like, there's a whole other aspect to that spectrum where instead of immediately
why everyone
defaulting,
likes it.
To why you shouldn't watch the Avengers.
Yeah.
You could tell me why the Avengers is better than the Pope. You know what I mean? And you could take it and spin it to a positive, which sometimes I try to consciously do, but I don't really have a rule. I just kind of follow what my gut instinct is, which is why a lot of the stuff that I do on stage is happy. A lot of my like stage jokes, my material on stage is like fun and happy. Like I have a CrossFit joke. I'm not hating on everybody that does CrossFit. I'll poke and prod them a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
But then I act out this crazy CrossFit character, and it's like, oh, he's right. Like, we do kind of go crazy like that. That's funny. Instead of like, you fucking people are always trying, you're always doing this and this and this, and you look like fucking.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's not like negative.
I love like the Steve Martin stuff. It's just so lighthearted.
Yeah,
and just so kind of, I mean, he had the little bunny ears in the banjo.
Did you read his
like,
book? Have you ever read his book?
Born Standing Up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. But yeah, I like that lighthearted stuff, dude. And again, like it's a drug.
Yeah.
And like all of it kind of just felt like it was like hitting me at once of just like, wow, this is literally the person I'm becoming.
Yeah.
I care about all this. I am jaded. I am a dick. I'm all these different things. I want to separate myself from those things.
Cool. That's tight, dude. Keep talking about yourself.
Am I a guest? Who's the guest? Am I a guest?
Yeah, dude. That's really cool.
But to answer your question,
separating your ego is important.
To answer your question, I'll do stand up again when I feel like I'm ready.
Great. I think you should. I think stand up has been a huge help to me, at least for.
It's just fun, man. It's just like a fun night out.
Yeah.
Like you go to the comedy store, it's like, dude, there's like bad biddies there. They're it's a club. It's a nightclub. Like it's just like, wow, this is.
Yep.
I feel like I'm going to One Oak.
Dude, even going back on the road now feels like that.
Yeah, is it fun?
It's so fun. Yeah, Alabama was fun. It was packed. Florida a couple months ago was insane. They're having concerts in Florida right now?
Yeah, that's sick.
Shit.
I didn't know that.
Dude, they got no rules out there.
Yeah.
It's
that's
crazy.
why Schuster moved back, my roommate Schuster.
Oh, did he move back?
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, because there's nothing to do here, but.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people moving out there. A lot of people moving to Texas. I had a couple friends try to persuade me to move to Texas recently.
Your buddy JP.
JP, my buddy Gretch, a couple other people that are moving out there. And I think I'm staying here. I can't leave California, dude. I can't leave.
Sick spot, bro.
Yeah, I got a tree right outside my window.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be a million reasons to leave, but I mean, like, everything's fine.
Nah, bro, I'm going to let everybody else leave so I can rise from the ashes.
Yeah.
You know? All these people, every person that leaves bumps me up on the list at the Hollywood Improv by one. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, everybody is leaving. Wow.
Yeah.
Theo Vaughn just moved to Louisiana, right?
Fahim moved. I don't know if you know who Fahim
to
Anwar
Austin,
is.
yeah.
He moved to Austin.
Tim Dillon. Austin.
Yep. Tim Dillon.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And all those dudes were LA dudes.
Everything's just so virtual now, though. Like,
yeah.
It doesn't.
But I do love the club scene in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when that happens again, I'm very much trying to be at the Improv. I would go every night.
Really?
If I could get up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe I would go sometimes just to hang. Like that is one place where my heart truly lies is at the Hollywood Improv.
Yeah, I've performed at the Comedy Store. That's it. Never done the Improv.
The Improv's great.
I've done the Belly Room at the Comedy Store. And I was like, this is just sick. You're just in like a historical
landmark.
It's like a
landmark. Yeah.
But I never made it to like any like big shows at the Improv or anything like that.
Yeah,
I was about to though.
Cool. Yeah, for sure.
But then COVID happened.
Yeah, then COVID. We were gonna do the Improv in Tempe.
Yeah, that would have been sick, dude.
Yeah, we should still.
I'm still very
We
down.
should still,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a massive audience out there for stand-up,
For
I've been
your boy.
told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tempe Improv is great. And it's also getting to the point where like you don't have to have TV credits to be able to get these shows. You just got to be able to sell tickets.
Yeah.
Which is great for people like us with a following, and we do stand up. So
Right.
we're not going to be like a YouTuber going out and doing 30 minutes of Q&As.
Right. Is that what a lot of these guys are doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just so evolved now, man. Like literally everything is one. I don't want to start talking about aliens, but yeah, we're moving towards a virtual reality, bro. It's just
Tell
crazy.
me about
man.
aliens, dude.
That's it. We're just moving towards a virtual reality.
Yeah.
Like everything is becoming virtual. Bitcoin's about to be the main source of currency, in my opinion.
Do you have any Bitcoin?
I do.
Me too.
Yeah.
When did you get in, bro?
I got in at 9K,
Mm-hmm.
19K, and 33K.
Cool.
I bought like.
Yeah, staggered. I got in at 3,000, and then I sold it all because I was broke. Did I already told you
did
this?
not? No.
This was a couple years ago, maybe 2 years ago. My buddy told me about it. I think I put in $500, and it went up to $1,500, and then I hit a point where I was like really broke, and so I needed it, so I cashed out. And then I didn't get back in until 18. But I was there at 3.
Yeah.
I was there at 3.
Yeah, dude. My pops got it at 500.
Nice. That's great. That's great. He's just sitting on it.
Oh, he's chilling right now.
He's chilling.
Like
Yeah.
big chilling.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like he's about to move to Hawaii chilling.
Oh, that's great. And he's
Yeah.
gonna spend it on the move.
He doesn't know yet.
Yeah.
Because why not just hang on? Like
Yeah, because it's gonna be used. Like that's the thing is people are like, well, when do you sell it? You don't.
I don't think you do.
Wait,
Yeah.
and
I
then
don't
you
think
use
you do.
it when it's actual currency.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, my brother's insane into Bitcoin. We're headed towards a virtual currency. We're headed towards, virtual learning, virtual schools, virtual shows. Everything's virtual now, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, at one point, I was reading Jeremy Corbell's Instagram the other day.
Oh fuck.
And he was like, at some point, every civilization or beings need to leave their physical body and move towards a simulated reality. And that really just hit different. I just think we become advanced enough, like we already live in a virtual reality on our phones. And at one point, it's just going to get closer and closer.
But are we talking about that Bruce Willis movie where everybody's literally just in their home in a pod and they're hooked up?
I've never seen it, but I think that's about right. I believe that. I think
that will happen eventually.
In our lifetime, I think so.
But I don't think it'll be a majority of people's lives. I think it'll be like an escape for a couple hours a day. Except for some people.
I disagree. I think it will become
you think that'll
the
become
norm in the next 100 years. Yeah, 100%.
Interesting.
Yeah, we already do it now, bro. Like,
scrolling
we're talking
Instagram
for a bunch of people that aren't here.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people share their entire lives. It's just this, but soon it's just going to be,
Yeah. My
Neuralink,
uncle is working at Facebook right now for their virtual reality department. He's designing a bunch of crazy shit. And it's actually insane.
Yeah.
Like he's part of a team that's designing meetups. So you can meet up with people and like go on a virtual date. Like imagine having Tinder, but all you have to do is put on your goggles. And then you can sit down with someone.
That's my point exactly, bro.
Right
it's happening.
Yeah.
It's pretty freaking scary.
Pretty wild.
Man. Another thing. I'm gonna keep talking about myself because I'm not a guest.
At Stevie Emerson on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm. This is the Stevie Emerson show now.
Mm-hmm.
No, bro. Again, when I was trying to like figure out this whole thing, last year for those 3-4 months, I took a break from all this stuff, from stand up, from social media, from alcohol, from everything, and I realized a huge thing that I didn't like was how many people I was meeting online. It like gave me this weird anxiety. I was
How do you mean meeting online? Just like having a quick DM conversation?
Yeah, DMing girls and like, dating apps and all this stuff. Like I haven't been on dating apps for a couple years, but like everything was just kind of hitting me at once. And I was like, dude, I like, when was the last time you just went up to a very attractive girl and just asked her out? It doesn't happen anymore. Yeah. And that was like freaking me out. When do you just chop it up with someone out at the bar? Like just hang out, you meet someone at the beach. So like it just I felt so disconnected from reality that everything we do is virtual now. Everything. And so I made it a point in my life to like not be on my phone and not do all these things and like have someone else manage all that and not look at the numbers and the comments and the likes and all this stuff so that I can live on this planet. But unfortunately, I don't
yeah.
think that's the norm. I think it's already
I think
shifted.
we're moving away. I think we're moving toward that.
Very fast.
Agree. Yeah.
Very fast.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially as technology evolves, because the technology is being designed with the intention of keeping you on it.
It's insane, bro.
For longer periods of time. And it's going to get to the point where everybody's fighting over you saw the documentary on Netflix that just came out about the social dilemma.
I didn't watch it, yeah.
I recommend it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to tell you anything that you don't already think or believe is happening. It's just going to validate all those beliefs and probably give you some crazier fucking things to believe in. But all these companies are fighting over our attention, and that's that's the commodity now, is attention. And if your intention is to get people's attention, and you're a big ass tech company with billions of dollars, you're going to figure out how to do that. And people are just they're going to give in. People give in. I find myself giving in. I'll be editing, and next thing I know, I black out and I come to. I've been looking at TikTok for an hour, and I get like mad at myself, and I'll go put my phone in my closet, and I'll come back and edit. And it's just, it's a crazy thing because so many people don't catch themselves, and they're just staring at screens, and they're living in a different place.
I have people manage the Slap socials, and I don't know the login. Like I don't.
Nice. That's
I don't
great.
know for that exact reason. But like to your point of like you're just scrolling and you catch yourself scrolling or whatever it is. Like there's a time when I actually was just talking to Chino last night about this. Like at what point? Like I was looking at Jason Derulo's TikTok the other day. He's got like 50 million followers. Posts like 3 times a day. Just an insane amount. At what point is he just TikTok?
Right.
At what point is that just his life? It's not like, oh, I got to hit this time and I got to post here. And at what point is a daily vlogger on YouTube just truly living their life? There's no upload times anymore. There's no comments or it's just like you're on the platform. He is TikTok, and that freaks me out, man.
Yeah, that's wild. That is wild. It's like it's almost like your whole soul is there, and then when you're in the real world, you're just kind of floating around, like not really knowing what to do. Because it's an extension of you, but once that extension becomes a majority of you,
it becomes you.
Yeah,
dude. Even like this COVID thing, I went out the other night on Sunset and just got dinner with some friends, and I was like looking around, like, whoa, like this doesn't. I forgot what this is like. Yeah. It's scary, man.
Being in the real world.
It's weird. But it's not the real world anymore. That's my point. It is no longer the real world.
The real world is online?
Yeah, that's the real world now. So like, you know, when people like, when all these stand-up comics, for example, are like doing these open mics, and that's not the reality we live in. You need to be posting on, I'm serious. You need to be posting on social media. You need to be posting. And they're like, no, I'm going to do this. Like, I remember talking to your buddy in Chicago about it. Like, and I was like, dude, unfortunately, yes, if this was 30 years ago, you'd be killing it. But the harsh reality is you need to be living your life through these cameras. Yeah. Or you're not on this planet. You're not on this world.
You're living in a different reality.
Yeah.
With a lot less people.
Yeah. And so I think, eventually it's just going to come in here. And I think we already are. I just think it's simulated reality after simulation after simulation after simulation. It's just.
Do you think we're in a simulation right now, dude?
100%. Yeah. There's someone else controlling my body.
Yes. Or is there somebody else that's created an environment, and that environment doesn't allow you to have free will? Like, there isn't somebody that's choosing the words you're about to speak, but there might be somebody or something that's created the environment that we're in.
It gives me the option to,
which doesn't give you the option to say anything besides what you're about to say.
I think the first one.
Yeah.
I think the first one. I think this is like a video game, to be honest, and I think there's like, it's a simulation. It's a video game is really the only way I can describe it. Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah,
it's trippy, dude.
The more you think about it, the more you
think about it, the trippier it gets.
I think we're AI too. Like I think because we don't know anything other than how to just survive and progress. Right. So maybe we were just planted here.
I feel like we're the offshoot of, I feel like we're an accident. Like life is a complete fucking accident. And there could be something, you can call it a power, you can call it aliens, you can call it whatever you want, however you want to envision it. But I always thought it was interesting to think of the universe as being created for the purpose of a different being's extraction of energy from like the black holes of the universe. And anything else that happens is just accidents. Planets are accidents. People are accidents. Life is accidents. Life is an accident.
I don't understand. What was the first thing you said?
The creation of the universe. The universe was created. The Big Bang. No one knows what happened before the Big Bang. Technically nothing, but even nothing is something, right? So what caused it? To me, something had to have caused it. It couldn't just happen. Now, to Stephen Hawking, maybe he understood it a little bit differently, and he has a theory about how there can be a what's that called? A random explosion. There's a scientific word for random explosion or whatever. But to me, if the universe was created purposefully by something, I don't think we're that purpose. I think we're an accident. I think it's like when you flush the toilet and a little piece of poo flies off and hits your towel. You can't see it, but it's there. We are the little piece of poo, dude. And that swirl in the toilet is a black hole.
I don't agree. I see what you're saying, but I don't.
No,
think
I just think it's
the
interesting
case.
to think about.
Yeah.
I don't like necessarily believe in it, but I think that's an
it's an option for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think a lot of people they don't even let themselves think about these things. Like, oh no way. Like my dad's one of those dudes. He won't like we can't even have this conversation right now. He's like,
really?
No. Yeah.
Oh man.
And I'm just like, I'll like, what about the idea of aliens? We're in a simulated reality. You're just like, oh okay.
Oh
yeah.
no.
Yeah, and
dude.
like I think most people are like that. And I just think even exploring the ideas is cool. But yeah, you think about it too much, and it's just like, whoa.
Yeah, because it's wild, dude. Yeah, I would love to find evidence of other life, though. I think that would be huge as far as humanity's ability to move forward.
I think we are. Alex Jones said it best in this one podcast, and I always go back to that clip. All consciousness is all of our DNA and all of our ancestors' DNA mustered up into one being. So like, you are someone that's already lived up until this point, and then you die, and then you're reborn, and then you die, and then you're reborn.
Yeah.
That's what I think. So I think like history just repeats itself
because
so,
energy
like,
is infinite.
You can't be created nor destroyed. So like it's just repeating itself, and it's repeating itself, and it's repeating itself, and we've already done this, but it's actually all happening right now. Like the caveman era is happening right now, and us going in and having the Neuralink in our head is happening right now as we speak.
Yeah.
But this is just the time that it's occurring at this moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So would that be within the realm of the multiverse theory with multiple timelines happening at the same exact time?
I'm not too familiar with that theory, but yes. Yeah. If what you just said is
multiverse theory being there's an exact copy of what we're doing right now, but instead of having my hands touching the table right now, they're finishing an inch above the table right now.
No, I don't believe that.
And there's something different happening in because it's an.
It is an interesting thought though, because
infinite possibilities in with multiverse theory.
Well, if you think about dreams and stuff, like why do our dreams so vivid? And like I had a dream last night that was just insane, man, and like so crazy, and I felt like I was there.
Yeah.
Was I?
Were you? Dude, there's something about dreams. I would love to take like a dream class or something. Just like a fucking one of those weird, crazy, transcendental, transformational dream classes that people have, you know, taught by like a 40-year-old woman in Tempe or something, just in the desert in Sedona. Because I've had dreams and then had what I dreamt about happen exactly how I dreamt it. And it's really fucking trippy.
Wait, one more time?
I've had a dream, and then like months later, a moment from that dream happens in the exact sequence that I dreamt it.
Bro.
Whether it's being at this person's house and pouring a glass of water with my left hand, but I've never been to that person's house before, but I dreamt it, and then I'll shrug it off like that was a weird
That's why it's
dream.
Happened already.
Months later, I find myself at that person's house for the first time, and I'm pouring a glass of water. It's really fucking trippy,
bro.
dude.
That's why I think time has literally already happened all at once, and we just don't. Right now, I don't think. Maybe we do, and we're not being told, or it's being hidden from us. But I don't think we have access to it. So I think like these aliens and these UFOs, they have access to that fourth dimension. They have access. Why is a UFO also an archaeological finding? You know, it was by the pyramids, and then also we see them now, or we see them go into the ocean. I think these beings or these creatures or whatever it is are probably us from the future that have access. They have cracked through that fourth dimension to have everything.
Figured out a way.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, dude, I had a dream. Oh, this is so funny you say that. I had a dream. I really, really, really liked this girl in in like, I think it was September.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just dreaming about her all the time. And I had a dream that we were just having the most graphic, insane sex.
Cool. Hell yeah.
Literally, I know I'm not.
No, I get it.
It's a poor example because I look like a douchebag no matter what. but literally,
yeah.
Last month we were having the exact same. I'm not gonna go into details about the positioning and all that.
Yeah.
But they weren't normal positions.
Sure.
So it was like.
Oh, you doing some crazy Spider-Man shit?
Some insane stuff, bro. I was upside down, and I can't think of anything funny. But literally, bro. It was the exact same way that it happened in the dream that I even told my therapist about it the next week. I was like, bro, what's going on? He's like, yeah, that just means she was like, you were thinking about her like that. I'm like, no, it was the exact same way, bro. And it wasn't normal stuff. It wasn't normal sex. It was like, it was just weird.
It wasn't just you being horny and then it all came to fruition.
Yeah, it wasn't just like a dream you have of like.
Enough to red alert you.
To mess with your brain. It wasn't just like a dream where it was like, oh, I banged that hot chick in my dream last night, or like, oh, I was dreaming about this. It was like literally this plus this equals that, and then it all came, and I was like, okay, this isn't real. This is a simulation. This is weird.
Yeah.
I totally buy the multiverse thing though. I buy it.
I do too. I imagine
because of dreams.
You know, sometimes when I get super sad, I just think, oh, well, don't worry. There's a Brent out there that's like in jail right now.
Ooh, that's scary.
There's a Brent in another universe with 70,000 Instagram followers instead of 80. Fuck that Brent, dude. I have 80.
You think like that?
Yeah, all the time. Oh, yeah. I think there's a different... do I think like that all the time? No, because my mind is on the present as much as possible. But the times when I do let myself kind of float into those spaces of thought, I do imagine there being a completely different timeline to us where our lives... Your name is Stevie Pella. My name is Brent Emerson, and our positions are switched. Like, that's a very distinct possibility according to the theory of multiverses, or the multiverse.
Is that
theory.
why, like, when you meet someone or when you're so related to someone or relatable stuff, you're like, this is me. Like, wow, you're me. And then when you start like dating someone or really love someone, it's like, I feel like I am you and you are me.
Yes.
You start looking like that other person too. Like sometimes I'll talk to Alex and I'm like, bro, like, I'm just you. This is weird.
Yeah. There's some other type of energy that I just don't feel like we have the ability to tap into. I mean, there could be a fucking different dimension right here. Have you seen the movie Midnight Special with Michael Shannon? Phenomenal movie. One of my favorite movies of all time. I'm going to ruin the ending. Okay? So, spoiler. At the end, when they meet the like alien people who are taking back his son, they reveal themselves to be living in this city that we can't access visually or physically or spatially. Wow. And it appears so that they can take the son with them. And it's like a whole thing. It's part of the narrative of the movie. It's phenomenal. But it appears, and we get this amazing like visual of this city that is standing on top of our cities on Earth, but we can't access it because we're not part of that dimension. And they're like light beings, right? They're just a different dimension of light beings. And then once they get the sun, the city goes back into its other dimension. We can't see it or access it. You can walk up right to where the city structure was. You reach out, you can't touch it. And, you know, like us, I had this thought in college once when I was looking at like slugs, because I went to UC Santa Cruz and with the mascot is Banana Slug. And like a slug doesn't know the fuck is going on. They don't have eyes. They have no eyes. They have no idea that we exist. We're in the same 3D plane, but they have no ability to sense us.
Right.
And that's the comparison that I use when I think of how there could be another dimension with a fucking dude standing right here watching us have this conversation. Or maybe they can't access this one unless they go in those ships that you were talking about earlier in order to access the one that we're in now, or they use some type of different futuristic technology to access ours. But to me, it's like so distinctly possible that we could be sharing the planet with a species or a future version of us that we can't access.
I think that's a really interesting point because that makes a ton of sense as like why people believe in like ghosts, or they're like, I walked into that room, man, and it was just weird energy. It's probably because there was people there in the other dimension.
100%.
And there's been, my mom actually went to a couple of those, like, not fortune tellers, I don't know what they are. They talk to the other dimension.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, it was
like mediums?
Yeah, mediums.
Yeah.
It was the craziest thing ever, bro. My uncle just died like 2 years ago. And my mom goes to this place, just walks in, has no idea, like literally not the slightest clue, like who this woman is, doesn't know.
Yeah.
And she sits there and they do the whole thing and they this, and she's like, okay, I'm going to start talking to the next dimension. She goes, there's a man there. He's old. He's bald. And he is saying, thank you for taking care of me. And he's saying, thank you for all the rides, like something overly specific. And my mom used to take my uncle when he was 90, to the DMV and to the grocery store and to all these things. This woman doesn't know who my mom is. And my mom had just done that for the last year. Mm-hmm. And it was like this lady had a way to talk to that next dimension the same way, whether it's dead people, whether it's aliens or whatever it is. I think that makes like too much sense.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
There's someone right here. What's good, Doug?
What's up, baby? Slaps.vip in your dimension. Yeah, JP said he talked to an animal medium
on ayahuasca.
Once. No, the sober. He had a phone call with
what time is it, by the way?
An animal medium. 1:55.
Okay, cool.
You got 10 minutes?
15, yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I hate doing these podcasts. I mean, I love doing it because, like, one, it's a hike to get down here, which I'm super down for. But I could literally talk for like 6 hours.
I know.
The last one we
did was 4.
Yeah,
and it was a good flow too.
I'm in that mode. Like, I feel like the same way I can't relax until like my 3rd day of vacation. I can't actually start talking till like an hour and a half in.
Yeah, dude.
I'm really not joking.
I like conversations like this for the podcast. When I do it myself, I don't like going more than 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's why you should do a bonus one, bro.
I know, and then that could be the bonus one. I just gotta have enough guests. So that this could be, so that the guest episodes are the main ones and the solo ones are the bonus one.
That's a good idea.
You know,
it's a really good idea.
But I need enough guests is the thing.
Yeah, but I think one of the options that me and Alex were exploring was like, bro, people are so down to come and talk about themselves.
Yeah.
Like you heard me. I just talked about my whole journey last summer. Like that was the most fun thing ever.
Yeah.
People, it's a great way to network. It's a great way to expand.
Mm-hmm.
There's people, dude, I was literally looking at podcasts with like 12 views. They're like very high up UFC fighters are on. You Google their name, they're worth like 5. Like they're not.
Really?
Yeah, bro. Because, he's got a podcast. I'm down. Like I think people, I wouldn't underestimate how much people would be down to. And this is a 6 spot.
And
bro.
it's a good setup now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have a short list. You want to hear my short list? I got a dude. His name is Matt. I think it's Goldman. Matt Goldman. He wrote a cookbook. My favorite cookbook. He was friends with Anthony Bourdain, and he does a lot of like traveling and food writing. He's like a food writer. I just think that's gonna be interesting as fuck because I love to cook. Chingy, the rapper.
I'll listen. I'll pay for that one.
Yeah, I met him in Santa Barbara a couple years ago. We follow each other on Instagram. So definitely want to get Chingy out here. Kesha's bodyguard. I met on a music video once. He's this gigantic, like, beefy dude that was served overseas and probably killed a bunch of people. And then some other ones. But, like, interesting people like that I think would be fun to talk to.
Yeah. I think,
and then comics, friends.
Dude, I'm not a big fan of comics. Like the Joe Rogan podcast where he's just like BSing with all of his buddies. I personally think that's like weird. Like that we're just like watching him hang out with his friends. I get like when there's experts on or something, I'm like, wow, this is very entertaining. I like this because I'm gaining a lot out of it. But like I get it. There's lifestyle podcasts and people are into that, and that's the angle me and Alex are gonna take. It's just us hanging out. I personally don't like. I don't like that.
I would want to have comedians on that are actively working. And, like you or like Chappelle Lacey. Do you know who that is? He does the podcast with Brendan Schaub. Like Trevor or like Chad and JT. Like people like that are like semi-known. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not, and all due respect, but not somebody that is doing open mics and maybe
100%.
doesn't have experience.
You just want a story to tell.
Yeah. Somebody, I have to know them first.
100%.
Bare minimum.
Yeah, I think the best podcast, the one that I was looking forward to most, and you should honestly have him as a guest, my buddy Nicky Reynolds, dude. When that guy, dude, I think he has the most boring job on planet Earth. He sits at a freaking computer all day.
Crazy shit,
I know,
dude.
but it's so interesting listening to him talk about it. Like that's what I think is fascinating.
Yeah.
I want people on the podcast who are so about what they do. He's like, yeah, dude, I had to rebuild all of Brad Pitt's arm.
Do you think he can talk about that stuff on a podcast?
Yeah,
though?
he's
Even
like, I had
NDAs and shit.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I had to like
ask him then. So, by the way, Nicky Reynolds, the guy we're talking about, is a visual effects artist. He's not actually
bro. He
a
did
doctor rebuilding Brad Pitt's arm.
He did Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He did Six Underground, Michael Bay's new movie. He's about to do Bay's new film. Yeah. But like hearing that guy talk, just someone who's so about what they do, I think that's fascinating.
Yeah. That's why with the food writer, I'm stoked to have him on. Because in his book, he went all over Italy. And that's kind of niche. And all the bros that listen to this podcast, shout out to my bros, they might not be into a food writer. But maybe they will if they just give it a shot.
But to me, it's like, wow, I started hearing this guy talk the same way when you have like those guys on Rogan who like you have no idea who they are, what they do.
Yeah.
But they're so about their journey and what they did that I'm like, I'm listening. I just want to hear this guy talk.
Yeah, there's a guy like that on Rogan. And guys, if you're still playing at home, that's drink 3 for the second mention of Joe Rogan on this week's episode. There's a guy on Rogan who's a professor of like drug studies. I forget what his name is, but he's a black dude. And he's talking about like how he's an active drug user, but the drugs he does are like pure cocaine from Colombia or like heroin straight from the poppy fields of Afghanistan. It hasn't been cut. And he'll do a little bit of it on like a Tuesday night just to chill out. And it was so specific and interesting because I've never heard anybody talk about drugs like that besides people who do drugs often. But I've never heard of anybody
with such a logical approach.
With a logical approach and in such a high status position. Like he's a professor. Where's he a professor at? Cambridge or some shit? Harvard? I don't know. Something like that. And he's talking about this. He's teaching classes. And he's talking about how he'll snort a line of cocaine after dinner sometimes just to like kick it and have some energy.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it's not bad?
No, because he controls it. He's talking about how a lot of America's perception toward drugs is so muddy. And we think that a drug user is automatically a homeless person in the street with mental problems. And it's all because of their addiction.
Yeah.
And no, we have a mental health crisis in America, and not taking care of people's mental health leads to drugs being used wrong. I'm paraphrasing his argument.
I completely, I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And so it was like so interesting to hear him talk about that, especially because that's something that I used to think, oh, any drug, you're just going to be a drug addict. I didn't touch drugs until I was 24. And so now my whole perspective has flipped. I mean, I'm on Molly right now, and I feel fantastic.
Yes, sir.
So,
yeah, bro. I think as far as the podcast guests go, again, people who are just not necessarily that they do interesting stuff with their lives. Obviously, those make for great guests, but just guys or women that are just so about what they do. Like, I find that fascinating. Like, if you're going to talk to a bus driver, but he's like, I've always wanted to do this. This has been my dream.
Yeah.
Like, to me, those make the best guests. And I think, like, dude, reaching out to a lot of these people, I think you'd be surprised. We have a list of like 60 people right now.
Nice.
And we just started texting people off the top, and they're like, dude, 100% down. Like, let's do it. I think people, again, this is just fun.
Yeah, that's great. You got to get Jordan Belfort on.
I think he'd be down, yeah.
Yeah, I think he'd be down.
He follows us.
Yeah, that's really funny.
He reposts some of the vids.
Yeah.
Belford would be a good guess. But yeah, I seriously would have Nicky Reynolds on, dude. That guy.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna add him to the list.
When he gets on his like rants about what he does, it's freaking fascinating, bro.
Yeah, that's really cool.
But you're saying your buddy JP speaks to other dimensions.
Oh yeah,
an animal.
Good memory, bro.
Yeah, dude.
I
got my degree in communication studies, man. This is what I do.
Wow, nice, dude. From where?
University of Phoenix.
University of Phoenix in person.
Arizona State.
He talked to an animal medium once, and the guy talking to him for the first time was like, he knew the breed of dog. No, JP told him the breed and told him the dog's name. And then the guy was like, well, and he like tapped into whatever. And he's like, well, he really likes the new space. JP had moved like a couple weeks prior.
Wait, I'm sorry. One more time?
JP was talking to the animal medium.
Okay.
And all the medium asked for was the dog's name and the breed. Okay. And the dog was like kind of sick. And like JP was trying to figure out what's going on with him. And so he talked to the medium, gave the medium the name and the breed. And the medium took his time, and throughout the course of their conversation was giving him all the specific information that he couldn't have gotten unless he was actually tapping in to some type of energy, according to JP, such as he knew that they had just moved and the dog really liked all the new space that he had because he has a yard now. And like, how do you know that?
Right.
Like, yeah, you could guess.
Right.
You know,
there's just certain things you can't. Yeah.
But there's some things that, yeah. You
what
can't.
I don't understand, going off that like interdimensional play and just kind of like other planets and this and that, and all these other things. I literally don't know anything about anything like at all. It's almost kind of scary. I live in my own little bubble, and like, dude, I was hearing Alex, Chino, and Reese talk last night during our meeting. We ended, and then they were talking about health. And like, dude, they know their stuff. And I was like, dude, I know nothing about anything.
I thought you were pretty tapped into health stuff.
No, I know like the basics, but I don't know like, and then it goes through this and it hits that, and then like those guys listen to podcasts and all that stuff. I'm very generally, I'd like to think I'm somewhat intelligent just with life, like stay away from sugar.
Sure.
Don't have a ton of carbs before bed, like the basic stuff. But these guys know their stuff. Anyways, I know nothing about nothing. But if I was in charge, which hopefully doesn't happen, why are we not putting all of our time, money, and energy, literally all of it, not just some of it, like all of it, towards space travel and finding out how to access these other dimensions and talking to these mediums? And like, why is that not more mainstream? Why is when you talk about this so like, oh, okay, like,
well, the government has done a great job, dude, of misinformation.
Is that what it is?
There's a documentary called Mirage Men about specific programs that the government has and has had in the past. So the example from that documentary was this guy saw a secret military flight, like a test flight for this secret project, and they had somebody tell him, oh, like the footage that he got of it, oh, that looks like a UFO. And so now he's spouting that it's a UFO to everybody. He started to believe that he saw a UFO because the military didn't want him to start describing a secret aircraft. And they didn't want it to get out that they were testing aircrafts in this location. And so that led to people thinking that this guy's a UFO nut. It kind of ruined the guy's life. And that added to the bigger picture of how people who have seen UFOs automatically get shot down.
Flagged, yeah.
You know? And so...
Flagged is crazy.
Yeah, flagged is crazy. Yeah. And there's like a stigma now. And so like the UFO
but
stuff...
I think...
we should be looking at it more. There should be more scientists involved. And I also understand that maybe if the government has found a certain technology, they don't want to tell the public. Of course, because when you tell the public, you're telling your enemy.
And that's the other thing too, is like taking that a step further. There's got to be a reason why they're not.
Yeah.
There has to be. Or else, again, why are we not doing it? Yeah. There has to be something that's controlling us.
Maybe.
There has to be. Why else would we not be doing it?
What is it, dude? What's controlling us?
I don't know.
I think it's our environment.
What do you mean?
I don't think there's somebody with a remote control controlling your movements.
Controlling the simulation, though?
If it is,
there's not something controlling the entire environment?
It depends on what it is, because it could be so many things. I mean, we could be a science project, dude, you know, where they're not controlling anything. They just added water to rocks. And they're this gigantic creature, you know, from Men in Black. Remember the aliens playing with the marbles at the end of Men in Black?
Never saw it.
It pulls out. You've never seen Men in Black?
I haven't seen anything, bro. I told you, own little reality.
That's crazy. You have to see Men in Black. At the end of the movie, we pull out from Will Smith. We pull out of New York. We're pulling through the clouds. Now we're pulling through space. We're pulling through the galaxy. We're pulling through the universe. And we finally pull out and emerge from a marble that's next to another marble with a bunch of galaxies and star stuff floating around. And those marbles get poured onto the ground by these two gigantic aliens that are just playing fucking marbles. And we're in the marble. That's how small and insignificant we are.
I believe that.
Something like that is...
So maybe they don't want us to figure out about all these different things and all these different dimensions, all these aircrafts that can get us to these other dimensions, because then that puts... if we're this big, that puts this at risk for affecting their environment.
Yes. Yes. And yeah, I think that's one way of looking at it. I just also think that it could just be like an experiment and a project, and we could just be loose right now. Free will, the argument of whether or not there's free will is really interesting. Because like what just made me put my hand on the table? Is that like a lifetime of experience?
Who wrote that book? Sam
Harris. Yeah. And I got to read his argument about it again, but it's just really interesting because we could just be in a science experiment, or we could be pre-programmed and controlled, or we could be an accident that like no one knows about. It's just there are so many different possibilities.
Again, that's why I just try not to think about it, and then I just live in my own reality. Go to the beach later, be like, this simulation ain't too bad.
No, I think as far as simulations go, we're in a pretty cool one.
I think everything's gonna be fine.
I think we're gonna be okay, dude.
I wish we could talk for longer, bro.
Yeah, come back. Bring Alex.
I know, man. He's such a great conversationalist.
Or we could have Nikki on. You could be the three of us.
Nikki Reynolds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could
be
cool.
great, dude. I'm super down.
Cool. Yeah, bro.
We were talking about it last night. Like, what's the cap on a podcast? I don't think you can do one. Like, no, 60 minutes, dude. I could talk for 6.5 hours. Right
With
now.
a guest? Yeah.
Yeah.
With a guest,
it's sick.
Yeah, it's fun.
I feel so important right now. Like,
it's
we
cool
got microphones.
You got cool mics, dude.
Yeah, these are nice.
Thanks,
these
man.
are the industry standard, right? They're like
they sure are.
$450 a pop.
SMB 7 something. Yeah, they're like $400 each, I think. I got to get new arms, but the arms are doing their job, so maybe not. Yeah, man, it's cool. It's all growth. It's all learning. You know what I mean? Who the fuck knows what's going to happen next? I have no idea what will happen next. I don't know. I have no plans. I have no promises. I have no one that gives a shit about me, so I'm just going to keep on moving. That's not true. You know?
It's not true.
We're going to keep cruising, dude.
That's not true.
We're going to keep evolving.
I care about you.
I care about you too, bro.
For real.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Don't cut this. Put this in. I'm serious, bro. I'm not joking, man. We always talk about it, everybody at the house, man. We really do. We do love you, man.
That's cool. Thanks, bro.
And I think it's genuine love. It's not the fan like, oh.
Yeah.
The one we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, the fan stuff. Yeah, the fake love.
You're very conscious. It's attractive, man. It's rare because a lot of people with what we do are so not in the moment and not thinking about what they do and so numbed by the likes, comments, and the money and the...
Yeah, you see people's motivations start to change.
And I think there's nothing wrong with wanting to make a lot of money and being well off and stuff, but I just think, again, being conscious of stuff and being able to take a step back and being able to say I care about you and all that stuff, not that many people do that, and I like being around the people that do.
Same. You know what Gary Vee said? We can end on a Gary Vee quote.
Oh, goodness. Come
on, dude. I know you're Gary Vee, dude. Gary Vee said, if you're, what did he say? If you came from the dirt, you'll never be afraid of getting dirty. Or like, if you came from the dirt, you can embrace the dirt. It was a cool fucking quote, dude. I was a little buzzed the other day when I read it.
And
you know what I said to myself? I was like, bro, am I about to start a tech business right now, Gary? Is that what I'm doing? And
you're young, bro.
You're young, you got
bro. Time.
I did buy a couple sports cards because of Gary Vee, and I'm really happy I did.
Yeah, I got to go to therapy right now and talk about my real problems. I don't have problems,
This
bro.
is my therapy, bro.
That's what Alex was saying. He's like, people either go to therapy or they do this.
Yeah.
My problems are a joke, though, dude. My therapist, like, a couple weeks ago was like, you sure you want to come back? Like, he was kind of like...
Seems like you're handling it well.
Kind of like wasting my time type of thing. Like, it was literally a moment where we both started laughing. I'm like, yeah, dude, like, I was talking to this girl, and then she likes this guy now. And he's like... Sorry to hear that, man. And then one of my videos didn't do that well, so I was upset. Like,
everybody's got issues, man. We all have our own.
It doesn't.
issues,
Yeah, higher. It doesn't matter the tier of them.
No,
they're your problems.
They're your problems. Problems are problems, dude. Handle your problems. Handle your brain. Where can people find you? Everybody already knows, but just say it anyway.
Dude, don't find me, man.
Where can
just
people
live.
Find you, bro?
Just live.
Just live.
Yeah, they know where to find me.
Stevie Emerson. Ladies and gentlemen, love you, dude.
Love you, brother. Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for And that's it. Episode 51 has come to a close. Guys, follow Stevie Emerson on Instagram at Stevie_Emerson is his personal. at Slappers Only IG is the Instagram page. Keep up with their channel. Me and him are doing a bunch of videos all the time, and they're doing some pretty cool stuff over there. They got a couple of big projects that I'm really excited about. I'm involved in a few of them, and even the ones I'm not in are obviously awesome as well, because those guys work really hard and they're super funny. So highly recommend you follow the whole family over at Slappers Only IG. Everybody that's in their videos is amazing. And hey, enjoy your day. Did you drink enough water? I hope you did. And if you didn't, go get a glass of water right now, okay? All right. Guys, I love you so much. Have a good week. I'll see you next time.